This two-part episode of the Executive Discussion Series features Mr. Laoye Jaiyeola, a banking and finance professional with over 2 decades of experience in the corporate sector. Currently, he is the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, NESG, a private sector-led non-profit, non-partisan policy think tank organization with a mandate to promote and champion the reform of the Nigerian economy into an open and globally competitive economy. As a banking and finance juggernaut, Mr. Jaiyeola worked with the Central Bank of Nigeria and transitioned into the private sector, working with the Kakawa Discount House, rising the ranks to the managing director. Mr. Jaiyeola has served in various groups. He is the past president of the Chartered Institute of Bankers Nigeria and a trustee of the Financial Market Dealers Association and Nigerian Vision 2020. He holds a bachelor's degree at Obafemi Awolowo University, an MSc in Banking and Finance, and a Chartered Banker MBA degree at Bangor University, Wales. May I present to you Mr. Laoye Jaiyeola.
But again, there are a couple of things we do ourselves to ensure that we widen the base. As NESG, we do not charge for the things we do. It's a public good thing. And it's a public-private. It's a public. It's what I call a PPD, a public-private dialogue platform. And ours is to ensure more people get involved. The only thing we charge for at NESG, since I know, is when the summit. And the reason is that the cost of running the summit in Abuja is
ginormous. Yeah.
So if you don't do that, then we won't be able to run it. And again, subsequent to the summit, there is always the need for us to ensure that we follow through our advocacy. But generally, those are the kind of things we do. So when we take up a course, we do real detailed research. And we then can look at the impact. I mean, for instance, at the NESG, we run the 4 full quadrant of a think tank. We're a dialogue partner, the most credible dialogue partner in the country. And it's not because I'm an NESG, I can say that we've earned that, because our convening power is very large. I tell people beyond what we do in October, there's many other convenings that we do, and long thematic groups. We have 11 policy commission, 12 policy commissions, I think, and there are 45 thematic groups, each of them public-private dialogue, looking at different things, and these go all around the year.
I see.
And there are other convenings that we do. We do country by country convenings, a few of those things. Then we do the watchdog role, which is where we do our normal research, evidence-based research. Some research we do that and just give straight to government because it's just for government to see. Some we publish. Again, just this January, we've done our macroeconomic outlook about Nigeria 2020 and the decade, what we think we should be doing. So it's out in the space, and we then begin to drive those engagements. So we have policy briefs, policy discussions, and a few things that we do. So, and this research, this watchdog role help the various dialogue and the convenings, because what happened therefore is that if you're going to do a convening in the area of health, for instance, they will do the research work. So, and in addition to that, we do what we call intervention role. There are occasions where we second people to government to go work as fellows of the NESG. And what we then do, we look for funding for them and say this is a role. Maybe in our dealing with agency of government, we then find out that, oh, there is a need here. There is a skill gap that we want to fill. There is a work that has to be done. And they ask, okay, can you send some work? We go look for funding for that purpose and second people. So go do the work, and then we then help. And we do what we call the connector. More often than not, businesses want to come in and say, who do we see? So we connect people one to another, and we don't charge for these fees at all. So, but what is important is that for whatever money you are making today, you are saving a percentage for tomorrow. and you're investing it.
And one thing that I also noticed with NESG is the volunteer culture, and I feel like that is also part of sustainability as well.
That's right.
You've been able to really leverage on corporate volunteerism to actually for national development. So that's really, really remarkable.
Corporate and individual.
Individual, yeah.
In fact, that is at the heartbeat of NESG. It's whatever we do is in the national interest, and there are two maxims that we don't joke with. We pay to serve, and we don't care who takes the glory. So in other words, if we ask you to come and do NESG, for that we are more of 3, 4, 5 cities, you just pay your way. You pay your way. It's about interest. So we do that. But I think we have been, what has helped us in sustainability again is our openness. NESG we don't see the people at the civil society space or things as competitors. We see them as collaborators. We play a role of facilitator. I mean, over the years, we'll build assets. So how can we help others make sure we do the same thing? If it's about Nigeria and there are credible evidence to back the advocacy, we take it up.
Very interesting. So I think you covered this a little, but how do you believe that donors right now, because we all know that the civic space is shrinking, what do you think their role is to equip civil society in Nigeria concerning sustainability? What do you think they can do so that they can maximize their dollars while civil society is being strengthened and then continuing the work?
I think a couple of things that civil society themselves need to do for us before they attract.
Of course, definitely.
You see, again, I like the individuality and the independence feel of Nigerians. But more often than not, we're too small, we're too fragmented, we're too many to have impact. I think we need to organize ourselves. Because there is too much duplicity, there's too much, struggling over what is not sufficient, which we can do if we collaborate more. We dissipate energy, we go into a space where there's been work already. And all we can do is take available work, use it for impact. Because I always tell people, if the 1 naira you spend is not making significant impact, don't spend it. Because there is hardly anything that is new that people haven't done. You can look at it and work and then adopt it. So we need to organize ourselves first. And organizing ourselves means we need to put structure.
Of course.
There's accountability, there's transparency, there's governance. I think we need to get to a point where we tear ourselves, and then in tearing, we then can handhold people. And this is where one developing partners can do when they come in to help build sustainability, to help build structures for these NGOs, first and foremost, where they can help people work together. Let's work together. And sometimes we can put them together and say, we're going to help your monitoring evaluation. We're going to help your finance and accounting. We want to help your governance. We want to help you in the area of even communications and all of those things. So those are the things I think they need to do. And if they tear and they know that you will only get grant A or B if you are level A or B or C or whatever, maybe that will encourage people to move on. And believe me, I think we need to first self-regulate, right? And that's one. The second thing is that there are, beyond these donors that are outside, because again, many of the NGOs try based on donors, grants they get from without. There are people within too that want to support a cause. And you need to make yourself good enough for that, for them to support you, which is why I say about what we do on Bill. But lastly, which is more important, is the fact that it's a reality that everywhere in the world, NGOs will die, and they are dying. It's a reality. So when we baffled about the fact that in fact there's a data that says that 9 out of every 10 dies within 1 year. Yeah. So it's not peculiar to Africa. It's a challenge they have all over the world about it. Maybe that's the nature of NGOs. And to let people then know that if you want to survive, these are must have. Build those structures, you will survive. If you don't build those structures, you will die. But I'm an apostle of governance, openness, accountability, transparency. And I always insisted. No, maybe because I have eyes for figures, I will always insist that thing, they must be done, and I will see it clearly now.
Okay. And even engage. Okay, so I'll just kind of say that and then transition to your advice, because there was a time you were really talking and you answered all these questions already, kind of. So I'll just kind of get to, so after that I'll just segue to the last question. Are we? Okay. So what you're pretty much saying is that NGOs need to be stronger institutionally so that donors can have more confidence in them. And even as they are even having the discussions with donors about sustainability, they actually would have faith that their dollars, pounds, and euro will go far with the organization running their projects.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So
all the things start from within.
Exactly. I believe so too. So what is your advice for a young nonprofit starting up, excited about the future? What advice do you have for them, for one, as a startup, and then two, as they are thinking about sustainability?
Startup, non-for-profit, or startup?
Startup non-for-profit.
Business.
Startup non-for-profit / social enterprise.
I always tell people, and it's very good to be passionate about something. And what I always encourage is, first and foremost, put yourself under some level of experience so that you can learn how organizations run. What I've found out is that there are a number of people who don't know how organizations run. And so they set up, and no sooner than they started, the thing fizzles and dies, because there's a structure for formal organization. And you need that if you're even going to get somebody else's money to be able to show credibility, to be accountable. That's one. The second thing I say is that for me to take you seriously, I must see your own sweat inside it. So I always insist, this is what we want to do. It's beautiful. I'm passionate about it. Make sure that apart from your money, you have members of your family, people that are close to you, that you have convinced that are willing to say, you know what, I want to sow into your cause. I believe you. Because you need that.
Yeah.
So if you cannot convince people that know you, people that you have worked with, if an idea is not good enough to warrant your sweat, and those people that knows you, so why will somebody else give you that? That's one. The third thing I tell people is that it is a marathon. It is not a dash. There are turns and twists and turns. There's always a learning time, So even when you set up, put yourself under some form of tutelage. How people guide you and drive you, It's not when you say, let me incubate before I take out, it's not by accident. A lot of these things you see out there successful organizations, that's everything. The ideas and thought have gone through some incubation and iteration processes before you then see them out and say, wow. It's more often than not, people want to run before walking. And what then happens therefore is that they crash. So it's important to know that it's a dash. It's not a dash. It's a marathon. But during that period, you then must subject yourself to some level of tutelage and some level of oversight, and then people that you can always go back. I always tell people, even if nobody holds you to account, be accountable to yourself.
Exactly.
Do your plans and review from time to time. I tell, don't look for an alibi. It's always easy to say, oh, because that happened, that's why. The way I always turn the question, what did you do to allow that to happen to you? Because you are the only one who can control yourself. There are situations around you. The external factors are factors that you can only manage. You don't control them. So how have you positioned yourself to effectively manage those external factors? So I tell people, please, as much as possible. So one thing I tell them again is, it's about collaboration.
Exactly.
We all know in parts. We don't know it all.
Exactly.
So never think you're an island. So who can I collaborate with? Who can I learn from? How can I bring up people learning? So those are the kind of things you do to grow. And lastly, I want to say that people expand too quickly and then they crash. If you are for a cause, be focused and dig it in very, very, very well. And I'll tell this joke I do for I shared with my young people. I said, a professor is someone who knows so much about so little. You recall that in the secondary school, how many subjects you used to do?
I know.
And as you enter into university, you just pick just one out of it and you take something out of that one. And when you're doing your master's, you're just taking something small. And the professor comes, he just knows very little, but he knows so much about so little. There's always a tendency for people to over-expand themselves. And then they become jack of all trades, master of none. Be focused and have depth on the little you're doing, so that your essence, your importance comes to fore, and people know that if this thing you are looking for, come with that person. And having done that, see who you can collaborate with. Because believe you me, all that we're all talking about, we need each other.
We do.
Are you talking about lifting people out of poverty? You need nutrition, you need health, but all of us work in so much in silo that we're wasting money to do what, if we had linked up, we would have done better. So I tell them, as you form a place, look for where you can collaborate, look for what you can do, and bid your time.
Thank you so much, sir. This was very, very helpful. Thank you so much for your time. And so you heard it here from Mr. Jaiyeola about sustainability, about NESG, and advice to young non-profits starting up. Okay, learn more, collaborate, and make impact. Thank you so much again.
My pleasure.
All right. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Elens-Edeh with Social Impact Consulting. I'm a development consultant with 20 years of experience working with NGOs, international NGOs, and bilateral agencies to work in project support, monitoring and evaluation, and civil society strengthening. So now, I saw that local NGOs lack the capacity to manage large-scale projects, which can in turn impact their various communities because they have the connection based on their backgrounds. So this made me create this channel so that I can add value to you for free once you subscribe to this channel and get notified of upcoming videos. I look forward to hearing from you.